to do.
But I might stand on one or something. And I've been indoctrinated by what they call Steven Spielberg there.
Is this your one then, Charlie?
I've got these two.
Okay.
There's different techniques that tends to be what they call it, soda crystals. And well, you can't do it with them, but you can. Sorry, you can. The right solution, and then I scotch the inside of the corners. I prefer you to wear thin ones than thick ones.
See how Charlie's not moving?
Yeah.
Not moving quick?
No.
That's exactly.
Does it record people swearing? That's some of them knocked in. And I'll now put another couple of frames of these in. Middle of it. Okay, come this way.
See that?
Because the young bees, the juvenile bees,
Yes.
their main function is to look after the brood.
Yeah, so that's
They're
pollen.
going to leave the hive until they're about 3 weeks old. Any more, David?
I would say that too, Charlie.
Another two.
So Susan and is Charlie your mentor?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Inadvertently.
Yeah.
I would put that in inverted commas.
No, we rely on David a lot.
Yep. Got well.
And get ready to close it up, Susan? Or Stephen?
Wow. Oh, this
Welcome
is so
to your new
fascinating.
I hope you'll be very happy.
Oh.
I don't want to cross them on that.
No, you don't want to crush them on it.
What's the plan here?
That's it.
Hold on.
What I've done in the past, and I think it's a good thing to do when you're using them, is I put Vaseline round them, just to make it a wee bit easier.
So is this a temporary hive, or is this how your hive is?
No, this is a temporary hive.
Right.
It's what we call a nuke. People talk about nukes.
Okay.
And it's basically
In a sense, a working hive to a certain extent, is it?
and this will be as
Because
of,
she's got a queen.
Yes.
yeah. So they're still here. That's but that has now got the queen. This one will create a queen. What we're going to have to do is come back in about 6 days' time. 6, fair enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, next Monday, if we can do
Amazing.
it. We're coming
The
here
energy
again.
of,
Can you do
like,
that?
you know, thinking it's much more exhausting. But in the heat it can be also very, very exhausting because we're trying to keep ourselves cool.
The guy who has bees there, the last time I was up there with him was probably 4 years ago. At that time he had 3 hives. I suspect he's probably got more, because he's got a lot of hives scattered around. And we're not looking for queens here, but if we see her, I'll point her out, because she's got a green blob on her back. This is just a quick inspection, because this is a quieter hive in more ways than one, their mood and the fact that it's not as busy.
So if you think about it all, it's
You can see different you can see different colours of pollen there. You can see different orange and whatnot. Can you see that?
I see that.
I'm going to say and try and get out the habit of standing in the front.
Yes.
You're right at the entrance, and
Of
just
course.
stand just to the side.
Yeah.
And you can you see them under the different colours of pollen? That's just the different plants. So you can see it's gone green to orange.
Yeah.
So that's just telling you what different plants there are.
But back to the characteristics, if you think about Margaret Thatcher as our leader, for
I'd rather
example,
not.
or how that reflected in, you know, yuppies and greed is good and all
You
the
see a
rest
green
of it.
blob on
It's
there,
kind of
let me
so.
know.
If you've got a
That
queen that's
glistening,
more
what you're seeing
aggressive,
there is
your
just
rest
nectar.
of yeah.
Nectar
Yes,
is
there's
honey
a-
before it gets to
the
thicker
hive
consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll reduce the consistency.
That's fascinating. Gosh, it's just.
So that's what your thing on the board was, wasn't it?
How much that, sorry?
The key, I think you had a mark on the...
No, you said you wanted to check the hive because something was on the board.
Oh yeah, the board. And that's on the front right here, and I'm not seeing anything. I don't understand. This is basically honey.
From your
I think
two
it's to do with the
hives,
location of
Charlie, are you
hardwood.
getting more honey or better honey that you like prefer from each by the hive? Have you a favourite hive?
This one, because it's calm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
something
it's
always-
it doesn't produce as much honey probably as that one.
Ah, interesting.
And different hives will find different patches of food. So the honey will be different in different hives. I don't have a good enough palate to identify. So there's larvae there. There's quite a lot of larvae. You see that white thing curled up at the bottom of the cell. You come down here now, you see that?
Yeah, I've
like,
recognised the larvae.
in a short time they will become sealed brood.
And how long does a bee live for, please?
This
Well-
time of year, 4 to 5 weeks. In the winter time, 6 months.
Because they don't work themselves to death.
Right.
In the summer they work themselves to death. So basically, I try and remember it as threes. It's about 3 weeks inside the hive, then 3 weeks outside. When I say inside, they've hatched. 3 weeks looking after the young in the hive, and then they go outside, forage for 3 weeks.
Something interesting here. Look at the cells here,
That's a larvae, yeah.
but look at the size of them,
Yeah.
and look at the
Can you
size
see
of these
that?
cells there.
So why is that? Why is that different?
Well, that's drones.
Ah, okay. So the bigger ones are drones.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why
And same
Varroa
with that
like
lava,
drones.
would that be drones?
Drones.
Slightly thing. And that's why the Varroa like them, because they can get more Varroa into each cell. I'm looking for a green blob. I'm also going to put my foot up here because I'm starting to get some back. So you can shoot up my trouser leg if you want. You'll find nothing interesting up there.
You'll notice Charlie's moving really slow. Deliberate but slow. As soon as you start going fast, they will jump at your hands.
But the hive's active enough and she is laying, and I've seen eggs and I've seen larvae. I'm trying to find eggs that's easy for you to spot, and they're the hardest things to spot. And I'm seeing some here, I think. So if you have to put your hive tool on the thing, just so I can sort of direct people to it. Put your hive tool not on my on the frame. Right, if you put the pointy end down there, virtually right there, that is where there's eggs. Now they're going to be, if you have to come up to here to see them, because they're like thin grains of rice, and they're there. They're very hard to spot. You've not yet. Don't worry if you can't. I'm sometimes the world's worst. But anyway, they then become larvae, which are easier to spot. But the thing that you've got to remember about the eggs is they're eggs for 3 days. You start off when you're looking down into the cell and looking right up at you, so you're only seeing the very top of it. That's 1 day old. It then goes down on its side a little bit, and it's 2 days old. And when
You're not putting that in?
Yes, I am. Don't know why, because
Hang on, hold on.
you got some in there. Really, when you get to this time of year, you should be expecting at least once a week. That's weather permitting. We'll look at the weather forecast, and if it's better on Sunday, we go on Sunday. Because you'll see the queen cell. It's probably not
Can we
so
come
different.
with you?
And if you want, yeah, absolutely. And then you've got to decide. I never did it, I'm just double checking, I can't believe everybody. Yeah, the hive's open at the front. Yeah. It's much